All right, here we are in a beautiful Del Mar, California afternoon, looking at a very nice 1932 Ford two-door sedan. Very nicely done street rod. About a 25 to 30-year-old build, but this particular gentleman here has owned it 25, 26 years. So it's had a lot of love. It only has 1,375 miles on it. Recently, which is pretty nice, he gave it one last love so the next owner would have a lot of fun with it right away. He went through the car, took it to a shop, gave him a blank check on going over the car. They went through all the brakes, they returned the rotors, the disc in the front, has front disc brakes, has a Tuneport 350 V8 in it. We'll walk around and kind of tell you what we know as we cruise around here. Very nicely done, typical of the era, or the Billet era street rod. Boyd Coddington wheels on it. Beautiful Henry steel body that has had the roof chopped. About 2 inches, I'm going to say. We'll walk around and we'll tell you what we see. Windshield flush mount. Cowl vent has been removed and filled. The roof has been chopped about 2 inches. They left the drip rails on it and the roof has been filled. All steel body, fiberglass fenders. Pretty much the way they would have done it back then. This car's been enjoyed a lot and shown a lot. I think there's an NSRA sticker over here. He spent a whole year taking it to 30 shows across the country, all the National Good Guys events in 1992. The car's called Red Hot, and it is definitely red hot. It has a Kugel front suspension on it. You kind of get a peek there. We'll go over the undercarriage here for you, so on and so forth. Very nicely done, well preserved. But when they went over it, he went over it recently, he covered everything. He wanted to make sure that it was good to go, so they went through all the fuel lines, Tuneport fuel injection, all new injectors, all new lines, cleaned out the tank, went through the brakes, coil-over front suspension Kugel. I know I said that, and I repeat myself. I've been on the road a little while the last couple days, and sometimes I get a little tongue-tied. Anyway, nice little scallops type stripes on it, two-tone gray and black. Boyd Coddington wheels. Very neat. Up high mounted peep mirrors, dual both sides. It has a little button on both sides, so if you shut the door with the power windows up, if you hold the button with your foot, or you can reach underneath, it'll actually lower the windows so you can get in the car. That's the access for the car. Fuel fills over here on the side. Fuel tank is behind the back seat. We're going to get in here, we're going to kind of share with you both sides of the car. Again, Tuneport 350, turbo 350 automatic transmission, Ford Curry 9-inch rear differential with the aluminum center housing. Red Hot 32, the plates say it. There it is on the door there. Very nice interior, well preserved. Cars like this are always fun because they capture a time period, and they're actually very affordable too when it comes to comparisons. Kind of car you can drive because this owner's made sure that you can. Tilt steering column, curved face gauges, classic instruments. We'll cover those a little bit more when we go the other side. Billet pedals, knobs and controls, hence Billet era. Overhead Panasonic audio system. Has dual power seats. The controls are up there in the headliner. Power windows. Has a full graphics audio, and it has a CD stacker in the trunk or the back side here, so you can get back there and play some tunes that are a little more modern than the 8-track player that's up there. Doors shut nice. I'll step back here and let you take a little look at it. Cool. Fun car, nice and clean, well preserved. It's not perfect, it's not brand new obviously. It's a 25 to 30-year-old paint job, but very professionally done. You'll find a little touch up or mark here and there, and a little bit of tiny shrinkage in the paint. But from a very short distance, the distance I'm standing, 10 foot right now, it's definitely a show car of the era that's been very, very well taken care of. We'll give you a little peek at the back side here. When we get underneath, we'll show you the back end. 4-bar rear suspension. Again, we'll cover the undercarriage like we typically do here shortly. Red Hot 32 license plate. Flush mount taillights here. or the recessed, if you want to call them that. They're not really recessed, they're flush. See the Curry and the quad exhaust on the back. That's very nice. LED, billet third brake light there. LED wasn't quite out when this was built. What a neat little car. Again, this gentleman owned it. I'm repeating it, has owned it 25, 26 years. Boyd Coddington wheels, all new rubber. Step back and let you take a peek here again a little bit more. A little bit muggy here today. In the 80s in Del Mar, which is unusual, and they've had sunshine all day. We'll get over here to the driver's side and hop in and let you get a feel for that. Again, it has a button over here that'll bring the window down. On both sides it does. If they're up, you can drop the windows. Nice little leather. Little bit of entry wear here. You can definitely tell it's leather. In and out of it a bunch of times at the show. Only 1,375 miles on the car though. Lucara steering wheel, billet knobs. It has cruise control. AC, it has air conditioning, obviously. 1,375 miles, so it has power windows, power seats dual, air conditioning, rack and pinion steering. We showed you the overhead console there and the audio system. Made it a little bit dark on this side. Gonna let the camera come around. Anyway, we're gonna hop out and invite you in. Definitely want to hang on to the end of the video. Go to spudsgarage.com where we have a lot more. And this is a point where I typically tell you to get in. Alright, let's take a look underneath the hood. Very nice. You're able to take the hood off of one of these. You can either, it'll tip right or left side. You'll see the linkages here. It's typically the Era. So you're able to lift the hood up from one side and show it from the right side or the left side, or you're able to actually take the hood off of the car if you want to work on it or show the motor a little bit better. Smooth firewall. That's a tune port Chevy 350 V8. So a multi-port, tune port injection, fuel injection, and an individual injector per cylinder. Chrome one-wire alternator. Has a flex fan with a little custom shroud there. Early style radiator in it. Billet aluminum engine dress. Sorry, my lens cap there. VIN numbers down there and a tag on the frame. Short tube headers. Look like they're ceramic coated. Does have air conditioning, as we mentioned. He's got a nice little chrome cover over there that hides the receiver dryer and the lines. That's kind of neat. I'll point that out for you here on the left side. Coolant recovery bottle, looks like it's right there. Again, Billet air underneath the hood. This is beautiful. This car's well preserved and very nicely done. Fuel pressure indicator here on the intake. Now again, he went through everything. It's got an all new injectors in it, new fuel pump in the tank. There's a receiver dryer. Down here, the air conditioning compressor is down way low down there, but he went through it and made sure everything was just right. I know I keep repeating that, but I want you to know that he gave it love one more time. So they're never perfect or brand new, but he's done his best to make sure he gets it where you want it. Anyway, it's ready to hit the road. Have a great day. Go to spudsgarage.com. Again, hang on to the end of the video. We should have just a little bit more for you. Alright, so let's take a look at the undercarriage here. Very nice and typical of the Era. This is just a great little show car style street rod. Probably on factory rails have been boxed and modified to accept it. It has 4-bar rear suspension in it. Coilover adjustables in the rear. That's a Curry 9-inch rear differential. That housing attaches, takes on and off there. It's basically beautification. I like the way the dual exhaust is done with the quads on it. Quad meg tips. Back end of this car is really nice. Fuel tank's up above that panel on the rear there. Has Boyd Coddington wheels on it. He put brand new rubber on it. You heard me say that a few times. 235/70 R15s, pretty traditional on the back, size-wise. The exhaust, the way it tucks up in there, that's kind of nice. 4-bar suspension. Does have drum brakes in the rear, power disc, turbo 350 automatic transmission. Kugel front suspension, so it's got fully independent front suspension with the rack and pinion steering. It turns really easy. It's a manual rack. Tubular structure added to the chassis. Again, boxed. Kugel polished aluminum billet control arms, adjustable coilovers in the front. Disc brakes, all new disc brakes. Has power. Very clean. Turn signals are right there. There is a bra that goes on the nose here. See the rack and pinion rear steer there. Some jump points. Little button down the side here. See that? That's where you roll the windows down at. Anyway, you're at the end of the video. Definitely go to spudsgarage.com where we'll have more. Thanks for listening to me. We're never any pressure. Give me a call. Have a great day.